wasn't long, that was 40.
You're talking about Elmer Zepp, and he had the,
Elmer Meyer.
what, the house right here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, right next door. Well, so, and he had a huckster route. So when he did a huckster route, where would he go?
Baltimore.
Go to Balmer. Well, I think
Farther than that.
yeah, I think that's Ernie Myers had a huckster route too.
At one time, I think,
Yeah, but
yeah.
then he went to Baltimore. Someone told me that.
And must have died in 46 or 7. Levine could tell you that
Mhm.
probably.
Because that was his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah, they lived down below the farm here, that big brick house when we moved here in 45. And then they bought up there.
Right, because
Paul owned that field and he.
oh, and he sold that to them. Well, Levine knows a lot of stuff about butchering, so when we talk to him, we'll talk about butchering.
Mm-hmm. I did enough of that too.
Yeah.
But well, Sterling, he run the bread route, and
That was Sterling Frock?
Frog.
Uh-huh. So what
When
kind
he
of,
was chief, he was running the bread
oh,
route.
the chief of the fire department. Well, did he, what kind of bread or what company did he,
Tawny Town.
Tawny Town, now was he selling the,
Or the wheat. I said milk, I'm bread route. He run milk route.
oh, he had the milk route, okay,
And Pete had the bread route.
okay. And that was Pete Myers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so now when they had the milk route, where did they get the milk?
Warner's.
Warner's, so that,
Most
okay,
of it.
Warner's was,
But then that he delivered milk after Warner's was going too,
hmm.
I think. Or maybe he retired by that time. I'm not sure.
When they delivered, they put them in those little milk place, cartons or things on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
They were metal, they were
Little
insulated, yeah.
boxes, yeah.
Yeah, cause I have one from Warner's Dairy.
Mm-hmm.
I have to bring that down, sit it on the porch here. Make it look authentic.
Someone walk over and sitting on
Oh
the porch.
well, I'll fill it with rocks.
That's collector's item.
Yeah, well, that's true, that's true, that's true.
But, see that, I was Frockett's assistant in 52 and 53,
So you're assistant chief?
but they never gave me credit for it in the books yet.
I
Patterson
think
wanted
we-
that job and they didn't. See, Ollie got sick,
Ollie Leppo,
yeah,
yeah.
and so Frocky said, don't vote on him, I don't think he'll ever be able to drive again, so. He said, I got 3 guys I want to talk to, and then after the meeting, he talked to all 3 of us, and he asked me if I would do it, because I was around in the daytime being on the farm down here. I said, well, I guess I can, but I said, there ain't no one else around in the daytime, we need someone here till I get home in the evening. Afternoon, late
Yeah, that's
afternoon
right.
and that. And then Ollie run the next year, he was better. In March he had another go, and then I run the rest of the year there.
Yeah.
But they have him in the records
Right.
because he was voted on, see.
But you did the work and
They-
you didn't get credit for it.
They voted on me in February at the next meeting, because our meeting was over, you know, in January. And he didn't put it in the minutes. My old buddy Joe Green told me about that, because they rode together to work.
Who was that, Joe?
Joe Green lives down there on Deer, or 91, comes across
okay.
into Gamber.
But who did he ride to work with?
Donald Patterson.
Oh, Donald Patterson. Yeah.
They rode
Okay.
together.
Yeah,
to work.
okay. Where'd they work?
Tuck Company or something.
Oh, okay, well, I've heard that.
But
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know
what
where
they
it
did.
was or anything else. I might not have that right,
Probably
but
did.
something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Well, what can you tell me about the race that ran behind all these houses along here?
Well, we,
And that ran to operate the mill, right?
mhm.
The wheel at the mill.
Well, see, the old bridge had boards that you put in
And a huge shop
where
road?
the water run through on the bridge, on a new shop.
Right,
yeah.
okay, where we had a
And
nice
the
metal.
creek come
bridge.
right into the bridge then
Oh.
at that time. It was all filled in. But when they put this bridge in, they dug it out and
Yeah.
put the boards back further for
Yeah.
fall.
Well, now, were the did you have to take the boards up? Did you, or were
Yeah,
they?
well, it was in like a groove that you could pull up and let the water out when you wasn't running the mill.
Oh,
You
okay.
put it down when you wanted to run the mill and filled the race, and then when the mill stopped the mill, then they go up and put the boards down.
Well, now, did they drive over those boards? I mean, was
No,
that the bridge?
that was a cement bridge,
Oh, okay.
and the trough was about this deep in the cement, where the water went through.
Oh, okay.
But then you had to clean that every year. We get fish and turtles and everything out of the doggone thing. We come up with that little, first did it with the horses, and a plow, and push the mud out, and if there's overflows, you dump it
So
and
you
get
just
rid of it.
come along the whole, did you do that the whole
Down.
thing?
Yeah, you'd go a little at a time. You had to keep going till you got it clean. Because it built up, when you got down in here, it was pretty heavy, running down over the
And it was still just full
tailgate
of,
there.
it was mud, right? It
Just
wasn't
mud.
gravel or concrete, it was
You had
just
to
a mud.
get it out, because it would fill up, and then we'd put
Yeah,
it down
all the sediment.
into your wheel. That's why that wheel got clogged up.
Mm.
Because after Dan died, it was a year or better before Paul started running.
So you had a real mess when you had to
Yeah.
get all the dirt out of the mill and then get the dirt out of the
Well,
grease, as we
that
call
was
it.
about as deep from here over the front of the house, I guess,
Mhm.
back through that mill, and I had to carry all that mud out of there shovel full at a time. And about 2 foot of it.
So now when the water would come through, how deep was that? I mean, was it like this deep or? You know, when it would run along there, and the water would just stay in there, right?
It would only be maybe so
Well,
much,
just enough to.
enough to run the wheel. He had a great big, about a 14-foot wheel.
So then when you would put the boards back down and you weren't running, or when the mill stopped running for the day or the weekend, then it would be dry? There would be any water in there?
It would go down over the tailgate here.
Okay, but it wasn't any in it,
Where
actually.
Levi lived at that time.
Oh, okay.
See, it's still, well, you can see where it used to go down there.
Yeah, well, they used to run until they put the water and sewer in, what, 10 or 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You still had those because Wendy had that behind her
Right,
house.
right.
You know, you could actually see where it went and there, you know, there was a.
Yeah, well, they pushed some of it shut, but they didn't push it all shut. Up where she's at, that bank's still there, I think. And even up at Scott's.
Right,
See,
they
Timmy
do.
Cole had his and the house
That's
next
all
to
pretty,
him.
yeah, because actually there is a bank there, but it's not on.
But Carl didn't do his, and
Well, you know,
he bought the ground behind Scott too, and that made Scott mad. Jane never even said anything to him. She wanted to know what to do. I said, well, Jane, offer it to the people, survey it over, give it to them. It's useless, it's wet, it's swamp.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People don't use their head.
Well, actually, where Wendy's house is, it is filled in, but there's a bank there, but the part that was the race is filled in, because it ran, the edge of that ran along, Ernie Myers's garage. And
Yeah,
so,
right against
right,
the
so,
garage.
so where it stopped, they ended up, filling that in.
And the
So
creek-
she actually has, and the creek's down
The
below.
creek over here run right against the can factory too,
Mhm,
the
that's-
wall.
Yeah, because that way, they needed that water, but
I
then
can
they.
tell you another thing. Up in Ernie's, they had a toll come back and would drop in the race.
Oh, I know, it's still there, it's still there.
And the same way in the mill.
Right,
And
okay.
and when Clayton lived there, Clay Guyman lived in there, he didn't have a bathroom, he had to
Okay.
use a tub,
A tub and a.
and he'd go over to the mill.
Well, the little outhouse up at on the garage is still attached, so we can get a picture of that sometime.
Mhm.
I know when I looked down, I thought, what is that? Oh, it's an outhouse, but it's a little bit high, so, and it would have went right into the race,
Yes, it would have
because
into the
that's
race.
where the race went.
That's where it was in the mill, it dropped right down in
Oh,
that too.
gosh.
That was the other thing, it was a stinking mess to
Clean
dig out
out,
of
I
there.
guess it was, if it was used for sewer.
Wonder it didn't get sick over it, but it didn't.
Well, you know, the little house down here where Jane parked her car, the garage, and had the little building on top there.
Yeah, that's
the
where
window.
Clay lived.
Yeah, right, okay, and then, what was Okay, Clayt, and then who was the other person that lived there, like later on? Cause when I was little, he was about 80 or 90, as I remember, Milt, they called him Uncle Milt, who was that, Milt Myers, Milt?
Nope, Myers, but I didn't know he ever lived in there.
And he lived above it, at least that's what I was told,
That must have been before
before,
Clay come down there.
oh, it could
Cause
be.
he lived up to Holly at
Well,
one.
it could be.
And then it wasn't no one in there then, I mean, it was
Yeah,
before
well,
my time.
I went in there and there was a little place, well, I guess it was used for the bathroom, and it went right down. There was nothing underneath, though, it was just a hole there.
But
And I was like, oh, this was the bathroom.
Stairs lived up on the corner house at, what was his name, Brown. He lived in Charlie Guyman's farm up on Stone Road,
Oh,
where
okay,
Kenny Healing bought.
so Charlie Guyman had a farm up there?
Yeah,
And plus he
and
had the house
Brownie
there?
lived there.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of his first name now. But he lived right up there in that first little house where Dickie's boy just bought. and
Oh, up on
fixed
High Street,
Yeah.
okay.
But see, he lived on the farm then, and then he moved there. Moved back, he owned that.
Okay,
And Stairs lived there, and then when he moved down here, they moved up here. In the upstairs part there.
right next door.
Mm-hmm. And,
So that's been an apartment for a long time,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, when Jane's mother went there
Yes,
after they got
yeah.
out of there, but they had an old player piano up there,
Upstairs?
and we had to come down them steps. Dad and I brought that thing down. We had rope on it. He was above and I was below, but if he just slipped or I'd have slipped,
That'd
I'd
have been
have been
goodbye.
killed.
Player
That
piano.
thing weighed a ton.
Um,
Paul was the only one that had a truck around at that time, I think, and every time someone moved,
They
He-
borrowed
he-
his truck.
yeah, wonder if he could have a truck, so he'd tell us to move them. Gee, and the crickets.
Hmm.
But
So you weren't ever in that little apartment above her garage, were you?
I was in there when Clay was in a few times.
Because I went in it, before it was
Mhm.
sold and they started working, it was
Well,
really,
she
wasn't
stored
very big.
stuff up there for a while. I guess
Uh-huh.
that all got sold when they had to sell there at the mill again.
Probably.
Cleaned that out.
Yeah, well, those folks are like restoring that, making an apartment out of it again, so that should be interesting, Well, now, the house down where Susan lives, where it was Fred and Catherine Myers' house, now I'm told that was a store at one time. Did you ever hear
That
that?
was before my time, but it was, that's why the whole valley has got the light commercial zoning.
Yeah, because there was a
Because
store.
practically every building had some kind of a business in it. I don't think Harv's over here had anything beside the hall.
Well,
in the
yeah,
campus.
well, except he had the
Bus
bus
line.
business. Yeah, bus line, so I guess that was considered a business.
Mhm.
Yeah. Had to park the buses there. Well, I was told they also had a lodge on top of the store out at the end of the valley where the Myerses lived. There was upstairs was a lodge, and
Might
the
be,
band
but
practiced there.
see, the old fire hall here,
Mhm.
that was some kind of a lodge that had
That's
that.
the Patriotic Order Sons of America,
Mhm.
POS of A.
Yeah. And, see, some of them stole them things out of there. They were up in the loft in the fire hall.
Yeah.
They had
Well,
their,
they have
they
the.
had the rifle and things that they'd carry in parades and
Wow.
all that
I
kind
never
of
saw
stuff.
that. I know they have the cabinet. It's over at the firehouse that
Yeah,
where
but
they
they,
kept all their books.
they had the rifles and everything stored up there, and it
Oh,
was
what
just like a trapdoor. Well, some of the firemen took them.
Oh.
I think I know where one
Well,
of
we
them
end
is,
up- we
but
end
I
up-
ain't gonna
You're not
mention
gonna
any,
reveal.
I ain't
You're not
gonna
gonna
mention
reveal
any
that
names.
piece of news, huh?
It ain't in my family anyway, I'll put it that way.
Well, we
But,
ended up finding a lot of the ledgers and books from the POS of A here. So
Mhm.
I don't know if Paul ended up with them.
And see, we had the scout room up there
Yeah,
where their
Scout Lab,
office
right,
is.
and then the 4-H ended up using that.
Mhm.
Yeah, how long was the Scouts active here? Because you were involved with that for a long time.
Mhm. It started in '48, I believe.
did you start with it when they started?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was
But
Scott
she's
Smith?
kind of my age. Yeah, Scott and Bob King
Okay.
was scoutmasters.
Yeah.
And well, I got the first church award, Pro Dad. And Buster got one. I think Dick or Bob got one from your side.
Yeah.
And Buster's the only one that ever made Eagle Scout, I think.
Like
Or
Dick,
Dickie might have.
I'm thinking Dickie might have.
Seems like
I
he
have
did.
some pictures when they went to Camp
Philmont.
Philmont.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
that's still a big deal.
And when Buster went out there, they got into a hailstorm on that one mountain that he was on. And the following week when he was home, was a collared boy from Baltimore got killed by the lightning.
Oh, really?
And
At
another
Philmont?
one of them storms
Ooh.
on that trail. Same trail he was on. Yeah.
Well, that was about the only activity going on
Well,
for the young men.
both of mine went out there. Danny and Buster. Wasn't too many went to Philmont.
Yeah,
It costs you.
it was and you had to be in good shape to do all that. Now, did
But
Scott
Danny could have
and,
made he could have made Eagle, but
just never played?
he fell out with Riso or something when he was working on the per day or two, and then from then on he just gave up.
Well, so
But they all had the hard merit badges, swimming and stuff. That's hard to get.
yeah. Well, to go to Philmont, did you have to be an Eagle Scout, or you didn't have to be an Eagle? Yeah, anybody could go as long as you could. Yeah,
Paid your way.
Yeah, got it together.
But I was only in 3 years, and I never got past star. Well, it wasn't a full 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I was old enough to be getting out of it when I got in, just to help them get started.
Yeah, yeah. But then you were a leader then too? Like, or you just,
I was for a while when it ended.
Yeah.
But they'd call me to come pick them up, bring them to, and then sometimes they'd bring them. When the meeting was over, they weren't there, you'd have to wind up taking them home. I said, the devil did. Someone else gonna do this job, no one else wanted it, so I said, well then it's gonna be closed. It's a thing it's taking advantage of, too much.
And the 4-H, they ended up using that room, but I don't know how long after the Scouts. Because the 4-Hers would meet in everybody's house. And it got to the point they had like 40 members.
Well, that's the way it did when we had the 4-H. It went from there, but I never.
And then it was too many people to meet in your house, so then they started meeting at the firehouse. Yeah. And at that time, it was the Pleasant Valley Girls 4-H. And then eventually we became just Pleasant Valley 4-H because you had to include boys, and we didn't have a boys 4-H.
They used to make ice cream down there, that little room that sat on the side of the mill. That's where we met with our explorers when I run the explorer post in Scouting.
How about that little building where we stored the paper?
Deputy Myers, no, that was the garage.
Oh, that was the garage, so I'm not sure if I know what the.
Had a door on it at that time, but then took that off and then parked his old coupe down there.
Okay. So Duffy had the ice cream shop? Deppy
dealt with this.
Deppy dealt with this, okay. Had the ice cream shop, and that was at the mill, no?
Yeah.
At the mill.
In that little room.
Yeah.
He mixed it by hand,
Yeah.
Right.
So what did they do for ice?
Well, they had an ice house, right down here back of Levi's. That's why they own ground below the race there.
Okay, so where was the ice house then? It was
down in that.
where? Okay, you can show me?
Well, let's go out on the porch here to see it.
Oh, that's locked. Wait a minute. Here. Here. There we go.
See, the waterfall was right over in there, and then beyond that, it's low and swampy in there.
Yeah.
That's where they was dug out, and they'd cut ice out of there. in the wintertime. You had cold winters back then.
Right.
And they had a little house there that they stored it in.
Oh, okay. So then how did they keep it from falling out? They use sawdust and?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
What-
packed with sawdust. On the walls were packed with sawdust.
So that's down there like where that little clump of trees is?
Mhm.
Down, yeah, okay, straight down, I see some green and then like, looks like about 3 or 4 trees growing there. Now, how long would that last in the summer?
I don't know. That was not working when we came here.
Yeah, so.
But I know that's some of the history.
Mm-hmm. So then the race was running, well, see that little shed over there? Now, is
Yeah.
that's where the race was actually coming across, wasn't it? Or it was over further?
Yeah, that's about where the race.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
is.
because from Wendy's
Yeah.
house, you can see that little
That's
building and
sitting
that's.
in the low spot
Yeah, right,
there.
and actually that's flooded.
But
a
your
couple
falls went down right over in there, straight in from this tree.
times.
Went down.
The tree that has the
Yeah.
birdhouse on it? Or the other tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tree with the birdhouse on
Right
it.
straight down.
Mhm. And then the falls went down.
That
to
low
that.
spot is somewhere there,
Uh-huh.
about where it went down.
So then they would
Went
cut.
right down past that other tree, group of trees there
Mm-hmm.
together.
Okay.
On this side where it emptied.
So then
And the
in the winter.
ice house was over in that
That
other
way.
section that, you can see it's low and
Yes,
that down
right.
in below there, but
Yeah.
it's growing up in trees now.
Mhm. So they would just cut the ice out of the creek or whatever, it would freeze, and then they.
And this road down here went in and went down along Dave Yingling's fence, and they had an old wooden bridge there that they come in and use it from the can factory time.
Okay.
And then later years, they made like a pond there. They did run the old tomato rinds and stuff over in there. They called it the Snibbling
The
Pond.
snibbling. So what's snibbling stand for? Is that something to do with tomatoes or
Yeah.
snibbling?
Well,
Okay, I've heard that word before.
Well, that's just rind that
Right, right,
I.
but that's called snibbling.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a new word. So I bet you that didn't smell very good, did it?
Not too good. But it would dry up in the winter and then we'd ice skate on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good to know. So originally, this wouldn't have been part of this ground back here wouldn't have been part of the store then. I mean,
No,
because it goes down
from
to
the race, that all belonged with the race property.
right, 'cause
over
that
to
was
Da- over to Dave's fence. Well, his old fence,
right.
because they put a new one in and they had to keep the creek out of it, but the
Yeah,
creek was
right,
on.
right. So because you can't have the animals in the stream anymore.
Yeah, that's a joke too.
Okay.
Some guys don't know any more about life than they do. That ain't what causes the pollution in the bay, but we're all paying taxes on it because we got sewage now, here's the valley.
Yeah, that's right. We got water.
And that don't
sewage.
even empty into the bay. Shows what kind of politicians we got.
I'm trying to think. Did they used to make cider someplace? Wasn't there a cider mill up on New Shop Road?
New Shop Road, yeah, was one up there
Where Baltus has his place for the.
for the Puerto Ricans, I think, but I'm not sure about that.
I think maybe John.
Then-
So I asked John.
Then
about that.
Indian Springs,
Where's and I've heard.
that, well, there were, before you go around the turn up there and where that house is up on the hill, the road went in and they used to have a chain across there because that Smith woman up there, she put the chain on there, but that was a right of way into Clarence's farm. And he told, she had a lock on it, he said that lock would come off or I'll cut it off. He'd go through there once or twice a year just to keep the right of way open.
So
And,
is that where Indian Springs is then?
yeah, it's a spring in there against the bank.
As you go up to your shop road, it'll be on the left hand side. No?
No, it's the road that goes in there,
Into where? Into
in
Clarence.
and over to Clarence
Oh,
Graham.
so if you
You
get
see,
back-
Bill Powell owned that. And he'd make a garden up in there above
Yeah.
where the spring
Oh,
was.
okay.
The spring come right out of the bank, right at the edge of the road. It comes down, it goes down through where, Myers' farm up here, Ticky and Harlan and them dead and them lived.
Okay, is that across from the Bowleys?
No, right here.
Oh, right there, okay, where the house burned down. No?
Hmm?
No, it's,
No, the house. Well, yeah, that's not the same house.
right, it's a ranch house, but there was a big old house there that burned,
Yeah.
a Victorian house.
Eenie and Caddy and LaRue. Caddy and LaRue still living, I think.
And they were Myers's?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everybody in Pleasant Valley was a Myers.
Myers or Leister.
That's right.
You could always hear it one time for Mary.
And then you'd have Myers's marrying Myers's. Yep. Okay. Well, then High Street, the houses up on there are
They're newer.
a lot younger, I guess, or a lot newer, because they were built for the factory workers, for the canning factory, or for the.
I don't think so.
Okay, because they're all alike.
Most of them were built. See, the ball diamond's done by POWs or something.
Oh, prisoners awarded for that.
And
And did that actually belong to the fire company at the time, right, that land? Or did that belong to somebody else? Because he put the ball,
yeah, the ball diamond, somehow that,
ended up being.
I guess this lodge had that when they bought the fire hall,
Oh, really?
I think.
Yeah, that would have went, that makes sense.
And,
Because of the
and, but they did leveled that all, where they cut that bank down, did that all with wheelbarrow and leveled that all.
Oh.
And, again, that was before my time, it's only, would have been told.
Yeah. Huh.
But Mr. Eddie built the last two up there, and Patterson built his
You're right, that,
around
yeah,
that
right.
too. And then Forrest built the last one out here.
Was that the very last house built
In town
in
that I
town?
know
Right,
of.
yeah. Well, then, of course, the Corns, they built, but I don't know if
Well,
that's
yeah,
considered
that
town.
went up
Yeah,
there too.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I tried to buy out of Ernie and them for years.
Yeah, and I see, I didn't
I was
realize
up there
that
when they bought that, when Bertha Helwig had that lot sold. Yingling bought that and Ernie bought the other.
Oh, huh,
She owned
two lots.
both pieces. But he hung himself, you know, John Myers,
Really?
in that little
Little
place next to the garage. A little barn like there,
Okay, and that's,
where Mr. Haynes used to do woodwork in there.
oh, that,
See,
right next to.
Wance has bought that.
Oh, yeah,
Bertha
that little
sold
bit-
that off after he hung himself, because she didn't
'Cause that was like a little
want to go
shop.
into that barn anymore.
Right, and that was actually a barn, and then,
Yeah.
okay. And then, Bobby Wance was making cabinets in that for a while.
Well,
It was
Bobby did after
long-
Mr. Haynes.
Died, yeah,
Yeah.
or, yeah, right. Well, how about the water system in Pleasant Valley? You can probably
Water
tell us-
system, that was the old cistern there.
And that was up on the top,
Right where the tower is up
where
there.
the tower is now, they
They
had
tore-
a cistern.
They tore that out, and that was just a storage tank, a
Uh-huh.
cistern. And they pumped from here at the mill, they had a cement
Building
there,
that had a
but they
pump.
closed that one. See, them old pumps had so much oil in them, and that had got in these wells, the people were drinking bad water all them years, I'm sure, but they closed that, and they closed one that was in the factory, it was the one in the middle of the factory,
Uh-huh.
and then they drilled that new one there. That's the only pipe that's there. I think they're still using out of that. And, I don't know, are they using
No,
up here?
they dug
When
they did 2 wells behind Mrs. Brown's house.
Mrs. Brown,
And
right.
they did all that work, and they put the blacktop in back into it, and they ended up giving Wendy the land behind those buildings, which had been the race. So she ended up with some additional land and but then they're not using those. I don't know if they'll ever use them for water, but they didn't have any place to drill.
But then
Nobody would let them get in.
they're only using now that one well
Yeah, I
then.
guess.
Well, see, they dug up back of Frockies, they dug 2 or 3 wells up on
Everywhere
that
they
side.
tried, they couldn't get water.
They could've got it, went deep enough.
Yeah, well,
but,
then they were, so they were kind of begging, because they
well,
couldn't get
see, they want to used the one over there. I don't know if the fire company gave them the okay, they never hooked onto it yet.
Well, the fire company's now hooked up to the water system.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what they did.
Yeah, but
Well,
that was another dumb thing.
you should have done
When they
one.
put it in town, they wanted to put it over there.
Mhm.
Wouldn't have cost nothing then, but no, we don't want it, we got a good well. Well, the county wants that well, and they condemned it. And they want to use it now. And I laughed at them. I said, what the old dummy tell you? I said, now you pay for it to come in.
Yeah, right, yeah, if they'd have done it when it was being put in. it wouldn't have cost us much.
I could write a book that people wouldn't believe. You do so many darn dumb things. Costs you in the end.
That's true, that's true. So. Well, so how about some of the things that you did on the farm, when you lived down on Richardson Road? I mean, you ended up using all the horse-drawn equipment. I remember horses when I was back on the farm, great big huge horses.
I only plowed about ground by 1 or 2 years, because see, I wasn't all that old when we moved there.
Yeah,
And then we got the tractor and we did the plowing with that. We still used the horses to plow corn and things like that for a while, because you couldn't get it all done with that little tractor. And
So was that in the
then we got the hay loader. Everything was stowed on by hand at first.
because you didn't have hay bales way back then.
No.
Big piles.
We come up on the wagon. I remember one time we was on that hill there next to the barn here, right between the fire company and the barn. Turn was coming down that hill. Here come a little old black snake rolling off. I was taken away from the
Snake would give somebody
and
a kill.
Dad was up front. I throwed it. I didn't see the snake till I was pushing it up to him. I said, "Snake in there." Right, he went off that wagon like he'd been shot out of a cannon. I said, "It's only a black snake." He said, "Throw him off." I threw that forceful off, and he left him run. They won't hurt nothing. The only way they'd hurt you is mating season. They claim the male will wrap you if you get close to his mate. But they're not poisonous or anything. Many of them carried them around in their shirt. I never got that brave.
Oh, you didn't like them too much either. Then.
No, I wouldn't want to sleep with one.
So they would use a threshing machine to do the.
Yeah. Later we got our own, and then they got the combine after that, and then that stopped that.
Well, the threshing machines would go from farm to farm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Gary, he used to put his in the barn always. That would be the last one we'd do. He'd come down and help, and Walter and them would help, and we after we got our own, we did all the threshing.
So you came around to our family farm and did the threshing with.
But I hated that. It was much dirtier then, and you lose a lot of wheat. Floor laid for wheat that thrashes it out. So.
Well, I
the more you handle it, the more you lose.
Yeah. When I was little and they'd come to thresh, and then, you know, whoever's farm you were at, they would make the meal for the people at lunchtime. So you had all this food for these people that were working.
The last one I helped on Calvin Starner.
Oh, okay.
And he was farming that farm on the other side of Devil Bits. Barker owns it now down in there.
Oh, yeah, where the McKinneys lived.
The McKinneys lived there then, yeah. But they didn't even live there at that time, and they moved in there. And that was after they left, though, then, when he was farming that. And we was on that back field up there. It comes up there next to the new ground that Arnold sold out. Well, Arnold owned it
yeah,
at
that's
that
right.
time.
He did own it. Yeah, he did own it.
He owned it when McKinney's was there. And we was in there thrashing. Dick Clendaniel lived up there in Bob Mars' tenant house where he lived last after he sold the farm.
Okay.
Along the road to
Yeah,
Harballs. And, well, we was in, they stopped for lunch. We did have something then. They brought water once in the morning and once that afternoon. We come out, well, Calvin had to stop the milk, so they needed others in there. And there was one guy, he'd bring the wagons out and take them in. The other one just stayed in the field. We're here, come out and wanted to know if we'd load a couple more. We had a ball game that night. I wanted to get home and play ball, but I gave that up to help the man. So we loaded them two. Got done. Here they come with two more wagons, and the guy on there eating a sandwich and this and that. And he didn't bring a damn thing for us. So I slid off the wagon. I started up over the hill, climbed down. I said, "What you gonna do?" I said, "Well, I don't care how they load the rest of this week, but anyone that's that common, he don't need my help any longer."
They won't fit you.
And so we walked on home, and they was just finished up the ball game.
So you missed the ball game anyhow, right?
Yeah. I knew I'd done missed that to begin with, but I'd have stayed and didn't even bring a drink of water for us. You know, out there in that barrel down sun all day. That's the way they treated you. Talk about slavery, it's almost the same thing.
Well, now, when you played ball, was the ball team just a Pleasant Valley ball team, or was it through the fire department, or?
Yeah, it was Pleasant Valley team.
Okay, but it didn't have anything to do with the
We had a
fire
couple that didn't live in the valley.
Uh-huh.
Buddy Myers didn't live here. And,
So you had your own ball team.
Brillhart didn't live here. He lived in
lived in
Phillipsburg. He was
yeah.
our catcher. But then later on, we had the fire company team.
Yeah, they ended up doing that. Yeah.
But that was
when it started out,
that
it was
was
just
slow pitch, so we didn't have a fast pitch. Frankie Lefko pitched for us. He worked for Ernie at that time.
Oh, okay. So then there was teams in Carroll County, different teams that you would play?
Sykesville, Arcadia, Reese, Manchester, them didn't have anything. Sykesville had two teams.
So that was a big thing back when they had.
But then later we still had a fast pitch league. Remember one night Buddy Hook over here had the hook for me. You know what I'm talking about. He pitched for Union Mill, and they had us 1-0. We didn't get a darn thing. We get knocked to drop in, and they weren't doing that much. But with 2 out in the 7th inning, that's all he played in softball. But I was at the plate. I fouled one off sharp down the left field line. Next pitch was a ball. The next one I laid a bunt down the third base line and walked right almost on the line down there. I beat it out, stole second, and Skinner Dahl was the catcher, and he throwed to get me, and he throwed it high and went by the second baseman. I just into my slide, and I come right back on my feet and went on to third. The next guy, he got a hit, scored me, tied the ball game, and I think they had another hit then after that. Buddy Hook beside himself. He had a no-hitter, only one out to go. He used to tell me over back there. He said, "I'll tell you something." He said, "You were the only man I ever hated to see come play if it was a crucial moment." Because he said you never know what you're going to do.
They weren't real predictable, huh?
No. Well, I carried my average. I made senator's tryouts that one year, but I didn't go. I knew I was going to have to go in service, and I said, "Devil that. I'll go from Maryland. I ain't going from one of the Carolinas."
So what was the Senators, a national thing?
Washington Senators.
Washington Senators,
Mhm.
okay.
But
Ball teams.
they were
Not
only,
the ball
they
team.
were only there a couple of years after that. And they broke up. I don't think they were in existence when I come out of the service.
How long were you in the service?
Just 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, I was drafted. I went in, I got tired of filling out deferments. There was no future staying on the farm.
Yeah.
Wasn't too much future where I went, but
So were you were married after you came out of the service?
yeah. She wanted to get married, said, we'll have extra money. I said, well, it's like this. When I get home, if you're still here and want me, we'll talk about
Well,
it.
then.
I heard about too many of them Dear John jobs from the Second World War. Yep. But I don't know too much else about the valley here. I mean,
Well, thinking about the fire department, what were some of the fundraisers they did back when you were first involved in the fire department?
Well,
Did they do the dinners?
Dinners.
The dinners? And,
yeah, but we solicited too, and we'd get our
Yeah, that's
get
right.
chickens and we store them down here in the shed.
and then have a
And
dinner.
have 'em, when we killed them right over here in this, and took them in that summer house. Tim Davis lived there then.
Oh, okay.
And you scalded them, picked them, cleaned them.
And saved them for, had them for the dinner.
It got to where we didn't hardly get 100 anymore. Every now and then someone would bring you one out, but you knew you wasn't going to eat it, so we killed it when we got it here. You didn't want to kill it in front of them. It looked like it was ready to die.
Oh, right, so you didn't want to keep that one around. So.
No.
So originally, you actually, when you went around asking for stuff, you were asking for donations for the dinners that you were
But
having.
most of the farmers, that's what they'd give you,
Yeah,
something
right.
like
They
that.
didn't have money, so they'd give you
Or
potatoes
some kind of
or
other food,
Yeah.
potatoes, chicken, canned stuff.
ham. Yeah, that would be. So
Yep.
did they have more than 2 dinners a year then?
Oh,
Yeah, they have more often.
we'd have 500 to 700 back then.
But that many people came to them. But how many different dinners did you have? Did you do more than 2 a
Just
year?
two
Just
a
2
year.
a year. Yeah. But you have a lot of people come.
Yeah, for then. And then, that was before the building was raised, in this low floor, they ate upstairs.
Oh, okay. But you cooked downstairs?
Cooked downstairs.
Because there was a stage
And
upstairs.
There was a stage upstairs, and it had a hole right out in front of the stage. You'd set the food up through that hole and
like
serve the people.
like a dumbwaiter
there.
kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't
They
have
have
a
a
dumb letter.
dumbwaiter,
Someone
they
had to
just-
stand on the one
Yeah.
bench down below there and
And pass
reach
it
up
up.
there and hand it up to you. But we changed all that stage and all went when we
Yeah, we
raised
put
the building.
and added the kitchen there.
I wanted Paul to buy that. In fact, I wanted to come in with him when the kids were starting high school, because I wanted to know where they was at.
Yeah.
And I was gonna put their ass to work in there, but he didn't want no parts of it.
What,
so
did you buy the building?
here, and
Oh,
then,
this hit, and
but then when that came up for sale, Paul wasn't too good then anymore.
yeah, right, you went to
He
all
said,
that.
well, 10 years ago I'd have jumped at it, now I'm not gonna
Right,
do
right,
it.
yeah,
Not that I understand it
yeah,
then.
right.
But see, he couldn't get suppliers to come in here anymore. After he died, hardly anyone would come in.
Because there wasn't enough
Jane
business.
worked with Brewers.
Brewers Market, yeah, yeah.
They'd bring it over if it was a big load, but if it was just a few things, she'd run over and get them in the car. And walk up in my little
Yeah, 'cause
stinking steps.
yeah, you went up and down these steps in here a lot, didn't you? Up to the top to put stuff, and then
Yeah.
down. Did you use the little trap hole in there the door to go down, put stuff down the basement? Or they didn't?
Oh yeah, here,
over
yeah.
yeah.
No, you'd bring it up.
Oh.
That was only
Oh.
soda and stuff down there.
Yeah,
And,
but would they go around back and put it in the
Mhm.
door, and then you just had to carry it up? You didn't have to go down those steps. Those steps are pretty treacherous.
yeah.
You
Those outside ones are worse than these. You know.
know. Oh, to get upstairs, yeah, they're very, very narrow,
Narrow.
and steep. Yeah. So, well, and the winters back then were a lot worse than they are now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Had a lot of snow to shovel and didn't have snow plows, so they shoveled the roads open.
Yeah. Well, Harv used to take his bus, get a gang on the bus, and they'd go up through to open up on the weekend.
He'd go
So
so
they could
far,
go to
and he'd
work
shovel, and then drive a little further and
And,
shovel.
well, they followed in a couple cars, and that way it was drugged down to where they could get through the next day and go to work. But over here, Frocky and me, Garland, it was 5 of us. I can't think who the other. Oh, Stonehammer and Garland, and me and Frocky. There was one more though. But that whoever it was had left early. It was only the 4 of us there anymore. We got up on the hill over here next to where that building is today.
Yeah.
That used to be a little old factory or something.
That was a little factory?
And with that high bank, it just laid in there like that.
Yeah. So you had to shovel all the way across.
And it was, that crust was hard. You could get up and walk on it. So, Colin said, "Doggone, you know, I believe might hold my little Ford. I want to haul a mail tomorrow." And he was getting almost
That's right, I
dark
forgot
already.
he was a mail carrier.
And well, he just started at that time. I forget what year it was. But, let's see. That would have been late 40s, I guess, 48, 49.
He delivered mail for a long time.
And so he had that back at the farm, and old Stonehammer, we called him, big tall guy. His last name was Stone.
Stone Cipher? Yeah.
No, Stone.
Oh, his last name was Stone. Okay.
Yeah, him and Eddie Stone Cipher would go up and help Martin in the evening.
At
And
the
he didn't have
garage.
nothing but that little stove in there. He'd stand there by the stove and tell him what to do. But they went walking. I'm going along, and they both got in and come down through Dave's field and got out
In his
there.
car.
Both cars.
But, oh, 2 cars.
He had a big old heavy 4-door Pontiac, and he was behind Garland. And they got out there to Dave's lane and got out on the road. And Garland, he got in and said, "I'm gonna try her." And he come down across, he made her. Didn't win with it. That was a light car.
Yeah.
Stonehammer got in his, and he got about from here to the other end of the house there. Boom, she went down in. It was only the roof sticking out a little bit of the window. He wound his window down. He had to push that to get the snow away to get out of it. That's where it stayed that night. I don't know when they got her out. But then when I lived over at Lineburg, I shoveled all the way from the creek there on Lineburg and Leister Road over to Route 1 Road.
So
On Saturday.
did you move there when you got married, or how'd you end up there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And well, I had 88 or 89 steers there to feed. I mean, no light in the silo. So I'd pull, when I got home, I worked Black & Decker then, midnight shift. I'd get home in the morning, I'd go up and pull enough to feed them. And then I'd go back up and pull that much more for evening, because I wasn't going up there in the dark, and I wasn't going to use trouble light to try to work in there either. I wanted daylight to see. And but then when that snow was, I got out that night, I was pushing snow up level with the hood of my car. Went out to the end of the Lineburg Road there, get out on 30. Next morning coming home, it wasn't opened up much. They got it some, but it blowed back in. So I went back and sat there at Gilbert's at the garage for a while, and I seen Burwacker come with his big old cattle truck. I knew he was going in there, so I followed him. I got over in the ditch at one place, but I had changed on that 56 Chevy. We made her through. I got in there to Lineburg, but then the road was bare. And the church parking lot was clean. I got down to the creek, laid in there 4 foot deep. So I went back up to church and parked the car and started walking home. I had to wade through that snow. We had done them steers. I went out with the shovel and made a path about this wide. Because the guy lived in that, what was a little old schoolhouse right there at the end of the dirt. It was dirt part on our side of Route 1. But the other side was hard. But there, that hill, it laid in there flat like that. And that was about 12, 14 foot high, much higher than this was over here. And I knew there wasn't no one going through that. But I got in there and I shoveled the path on into the house so that I wouldn't get all wet and going to work. I had to go to work. I had 3 kids to feed.
Couldn't stay home.
And I had 260 some Ks later there too. But I made it the end of the week. Saturday I got done my feeding and got me down for the next feeding, and I went in and ate. Got my coat and stuff on and my boots. She said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going out and open the road. We got 3 kids here," and he had 7 there in that little old schoolhouse. I said, "Something happened, no one could get here to help you." So I showed, and I was up on the hill there just before it made that turn to come down. It was a little thinner there. She'd come out and holler, "If you want to eat dinner, you better get in here." So I just quit and went in and ate. Grabbed my coat as soon as I was done. Went back out and I finished her up. And then I shoveled in the dirt road there, far enough to park my car. Went in, walked back into Lineburn, got my car and brought it back, set her there. And then I thought, well, I'll clean up in front of the mailbox now. He can come tomorrow. So just as I finished up there, I heard this noise, here comes the snowplow.
No. After all that.
Well, they could have done it after I opened that path. I mean, they could push both ways, you know. It wasn't like all week no one even tried to do anything. You couldn't say nothing to them, hell, they'd have made it that much worse.
I was just thinking about the shoe factory. Do you remember Arlene Myers having her little restaurant on High Street?
She did that after when I went to I was in Korea, and when I come home she had it there then. But I used to take lunch up from Paul's here. You'd go up in the morning with like cookies and cakes and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you go around to the factory
in a basket and went around and sold it, and then you took a lunch order.
Yeah, well, that would be
and then
like
he'd make ham and cheese sandwich and soup and stuff, and take that up at dinner time.
Kind of like Meals on Wheels, huh? Okay. But
I
then
guess that's why I got in the post exchange when I went to Korea. They knew I had that experience.
So did she have her little restaurant at the same time, or she started
No,
that?
she started that later.
Later. Because someone told me how she would know what people wanted, or maybe they ordered the day before, or she had a special, and they'd have it all ready, because they only had a little bit of time to eat lunch, so they either had to pack their lunch or get it really fast.
I think did it for a while after I went and served.
What took the
lunch up
from the store?
Yeah, or breakfast or something.
Yeah, whatever.
But that had dropped off. I did a little when I came out of service, then it stopped altogether.
Well, the shoe factory was a real fire trap. I mean, if anything would have happened,
Oh
all those
my,
little additions on or whatever.
But Charlie Peter did all the electrician work, and he worked in there. He was like a maintenance man. Veen was in the office up there. And Corey, Cara. Little Dave was a big boy.
I worked one summer there.
I forget
I hated every second of it.
His younger brother was there, and he couldn't say Corey. He'd say Cara, Cara, or Cara, or something like that. I don't know what he did. He was crazy.
But a lot of people came out, I guess, from Westminster to come here to work, because we didn't have that many
Yeah,
people
we
here.
didn't have that many here,
No,
but
they came from.
that's what Paul talked into everybody's head, that instead of buying the schoolhouse, I'd bring work here to the
Yeah, bring work to the
help him more than anyone else. But wasn't that many of them working from here, I tell you. Dozen at the most.
Well, it was a summer job, but I didn't,
No,
I didn't like it, I hated it.
all year round. Yeah.
I was gluing bows or something on shoes, I can't even remember, but I know one thing, it helped me make a decision that I was gonna finish school. I wasn't gonna quit school and go work in a factory.
No. It's been a dumb move.
Yeah, it would've been, so. I'm trying to think of anything else to ask you, I'm running out of ideas.
I'm just trying to think, I think we covered pretty much everything.
We covered a lot.
But
I'm just trying to think if there's anything more I could ask you about the store.
Ain't a whole lot more.
I know one thing, do you remember, were there any outbuildings behind the store? You know, like like an outhouse, that was probably past the outhouse stage, or, I mean, they didn't have like a chicken house, or, I mean, they could have maybe years and years, maybe before Paul had the store.
I think it was an outhouse here at one time, because I helped dig the dry well.
Yeah.
And them locust tree roots, that was a job. This snow here wasn't no fun. We went a little deeper and bigger with that. He ought to do something about there, or that's gonna fall in on him when he
What,
get one
across
of
the
them heavy
street?
trucks on it right where the alley comes down.
Yeah.
That's starting to break in again. That one wall had cracked and the fire company had to fix some, but they didn't take the cap off and do it right. But if one of them trucks comes in here right heavy, they're liable to go down in there.
Yeah.
Well, there's something else.
What?
See? On the mill hill, we used to always have the Christmas tree there.
Oh, really?
They had a hole there in
In the
the
center of the
road,
mill?
and we trimmed that trunk down and set her in there. We went down where we used to live there, the herbs back in there next to Johnny Wilson, get them cedars and bring them up and plant them in there, and then he trimmed it.
So it's just,
Set right there in the center of the mill hill.
right, so and when you came up the mill hill, you had to go either left or right to get around it, okay? Well, that's pretty neat. Well, the cedar trees were
And
kind of tall and
See,
skinny.
we put the hole over here then,
Oh,
and we used to put them there then.
what, to the right of the firehouse, or?
No, it
In
was
the
right
center?
right on top of the septic, really, is what it was.
Oh, you'll have to show me that, where that was.
I don't know if it's there anymore.
Well, probably not there,
But then they stopped putting the tree up, and then I strung the
lights across
lights
the
across
street.
the roof.
Okay. Okay.
And I started putting them up over the hall, but every race came,
Wow.
it was always blowing bulbs. Don't worry with it no more.
So they were being a little bit Scrooge.
Yeah.
Well, I like the idea of having a tree in the middle of a mill hill.
Yep.
Well, did they go Christmas caroling?
I can tell you another thing here.
What's that?
Right over at this house, Theodore Green was up there, this lower chimney,
Uh-huh. Was he painting?
working on a television aerial
Oh.
when the stairs lived there.
Yeah,
the
okay.
stair
Okay.
down.
Yeah.
He slipped and fell off of there, come down head first like a cat, and he
Yeah.
turned himself over before he hit the ground, landed on his feet, got right back up and went up there. As high as that is, I don't
Oh
know
my
what,
gosh.
how, ain't no wonder he can't hardly walk anymore.
Injury.
That was enough to drive your legs clean up into your stomach.
Right, if you, yeah, and land on your feet.
That's some height there. I bet that's 30 foot or better. From the top of that roof to the bottom on that lower side. It seems hard to believe, but I know it happened.
Yeah.
And poor Gary fell off that little roof over there and killed himself.
Gary.
Yeah, Normie's husband.
Oh, well, actually, you know, what, he actually died from a blood clot, but it wasn't, I don't think it was from falling off the roof.
He fell off the
Well, I
roof.
mean, he did fall off the roof at one time, but that wasn't what actually killed
I
him.
thought it was.
Yeah, that was like later.
And it wasn't but about a month later that Dad's one brother fell off up at Fuss's
Yeah.
building up there, and they were both roofers.
Yeah, he was 39 when he died, and they were just getting ready to build a house over there across from the Dulabus's. They had bought that little lot across from the farm, and in the corner where Snobbles lived. So.
Yep.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of wood went over dam
Yeah,
since then.
yeah, that's right.
And the dam ain't even there no more.
So, see now, did your mother grow up here?
Yep.
No, she didn't grow up here.
Rosanna was her sister, though.
Right, and she, okay,
One of her sisters.
right, okay, and then you all moved here
In 45.
in 45. Okay.
I don't know what years her and Harv got married, really. But Johnny and them Mick was 4 years older than I am, and then Cleety and then Johnny, so that they were here a good while. But I think they first lived back there where Pops, Adam Pop and them lived.
Oh, okay, in behind where Garland's Ups.
On down right on the other side of the bridge at Pipe Creek.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where Mom said they lived to begin with, but then I don't know if that was the first place they lived in the valley or not, but they had that built. And he bought a Ford there in 46, I guess, was when the new ones came out in 45. $600 and some dollars.
Where'd he buy this?
Ford, I don't know
Remember where he bought it, but he bought a Ford.
I don't think he went in 2010.
I was gonna say, was Kraus Ford around
I
it?
think he got it in Westminster.
Oh. Well, can you think of anything else to share with us?
Hmm.
We think of some other things, you'll have to tell them to me, and I'll make a note of them.
Caught a lot of muskrats down here in the creek. We got a mink one year.
You got a mink in the